Okay, retake. Welcome to Speakers University Virtual Training Guide. My name is Laranzo Dacres and I am the National Director for Speakers University in Jamaica within the Caribbean, and today we're going to talk about what it takes to become a Speakers University Director. Right, for whatever city you're from, we're here today to get into those details. So, my story. When I met Lance Constantine, who is the founder and CEO of Speakers University, it was a chance meeting, right? We met in Kansas City, at a conference there, and we started to talk about, like visions, like for our lives and stuff of that nature, and it led to myself and Lance actually, meeting up, and he told me about Speakers University, and then, he gave me like a training. He trained me like how to actually launch one in Jamaica, because I'm a person that believes in, like upward movement, achieving your maximum potential, and that's how I actually entered into Speakers University as a public speaker trainer. Right? And today, after listening to this video, you're going to be equipped with the tools to launch your chapter within your city, right? To make a difference with the people around you, right? So in Jamaica, when I actually started, it was very successful. And the thing is that at the onset, I wasn't sure, because Jamaica was a new market, right? But I knew that Jamaica needed what Speakers University had to offer. So I took the opportunity and I decided, let me give it my all. Right? It actually opened many doors for me. The first time I had the free conference series, the very first workshop I had, the free one in the series, I actually, was invited to speak at other events, and then it led on to me actually doing a presentation on the power of public speaking at the Jamaica Tourist Board within Jamaica. That's one of the largest company, most reputable company in Jamaica, one off, right? It's within the tourism industry, so that was huge. And Speakers University, being a part of it, actually led me there. So it's almost like you can look at this opportunity as a golden stepping rock, stepping stone, right? So let's see now. Let's start out with how we're going to do this. What we do is we have a strategy, and the thing is, it's a very effective strategy, and you need to follow it step by step, right? Because it's proven, it works. So the first one is, this is the 3-step strategy. The first one is open. What do I mean by open? It means finding your location where we're going to be able now to hold the free workshop. The second step is free. What do I mean by free? Free is basically the free conference series within the Speakers University experience, right? The free aspect, the free component, I should say, is what we use to actually get people to come in, see what we have to offer at Speakers University, and then sign up for the advanced training. And that's where they pay to come in as a student to get the real information, the real training, that when they're through with that training, they will be top-notch public speakers. And now the third component is business, right? And I just said, so the business aspect is what we call the advanced training. That's where the money comes in, right? So the first one again is open. You find a location, preferably a location where you don't have to pay for it, right? That actually increases the profit margin, right? So you find a free location, wherever it is, try to find it. Even try to get a sponsor if even necessary. If you can get someone to sponsor a location for you, to partner with them in a sense, maybe to have a flyer or a banner, I should say, within the free conference series room, so that they can get some type of exposure, just to utilize the facility. And secondly, it is, as I said before, free, the free conference series, and then thirdly, business. So again, the 3 components, the strategies that we actually utilize within Speakers University is 1, open, 2, free, 3, business. Right? So that's the structure of what we do. But let's go a little bit more in depth. All right? So now, there's 7 segments within a free conference series workshop. Right? So for every workshop that you host, in Jamaica I did like, before the first advanced training, I believe I did like 4 free conference series that basically like I advertised, on Facebook. I went to the radio, I spoke about it, and then people came in, and from each of those free workshops, I gave them the same information, but like with new fervor and like energy to draw them in. Then all the attendees from all 4 workshops, the free ones, were signed up, not all of them, but a percentage signed up for the advanced training. So the free workshop is almost like casting a net, and like showing them what we have to offer. And then once they see the value of what we have, because what we have is really valuable, and the success in Jamaica attest to that. Now, let's get into the 7 segments. Before I even reach there, let me just say, each free conference series is 2 hours. And when we're advertising, what we do is we advertise a time that's 30 minutes before we're scheduled to start, to get people there on time, right? Because we need people to be there on time, right? It's important, especially if we have a book time at a location, from like, for instance, 6:30 to 8:30. We need to make sure that they're there on time, so we can start on time, finish on time, pack up in time to leave the location on time. Right? So the first segment is, let me just go through the 7 segments. So whenever you're in a free conference series workshop, there's 7 segments, and they're each, 5 of these segments are 20 minutes each, right? And then the last 2, one is 15 minutes and one is 5 minutes. So there's a total of 2 hours, right? So the first one is introduction. The second one is the founder. The third one is the 9 key components. The fourth one is the guest speaker. The fifth one is activity. The 6th one is closing the deal. And the 7th and final one is networking. Those are the 7 components. So let me go into these 7 components. What are these 7 components? And I remembered when Lance was actually, training me and all that, the information was, it wasn't, it wasn't like a massive information. So you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much. But you need to remember that you're going to be tested on this to see if you're ready to actually start a speakers university within your city or your country. Right? We're currently in Jamaica, a couple cities in Canada. We're in the USA, right? And we're also in India, and we're expanding. Because of our online presence, what we do is, the next thing that you should note, make sure you're taking notes as well. The next thing, right? You need to realize that we need to document everything that we showcase, right? So if you can get someone to come with a video camera to video the free workshops, that would be amazing. If you can get someone to come and take pictures, that would be amazing. And it's actually encouraged, so that way you can actually storm social media. We can put the footage up on the website so that the world can actually see what you're doing in your city, right? So back to the 7 segments of how to operate a free workshop. Again, the first one is introduction. The second one is founder. The third one is the 9 components. The fourth one is guest speaker, then activity, then closing the deal, and then networking. Now, let's get down to business. You transition from each of the 7 segments with one of our founders saying of I am revolution. And you need to ensure that those who turn up are repeating what you're saying. Right? So you're gonna be like, everybody say, I am, then the audience repeats, revolution. And they repeat. So that fosters like interaction so that they're actually attentive, they listen to what you're saying, and you're bringing energy into the room. Right? So say it with me. I am revolution. And we are revolution. Because public speaking is the #1 fear within North America. 41% of people say that their #1 fear is public speaking. So we have a product that people need. And not only a product that people need, we have a product that works. There's testimonials. Once you go on the website, you can see all the testimonials from within Jamaica, within Canada, and the other chapters across the world. So we're doing something big, and you're going to be a part of a family of very great people. Great people. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity, because being a part of Speakers University in Jamaica has changed my life. It has revolutionized my life. And your life will be revolutionized, and your life will be changed as well. So come on board. You know what? By just even listening to this right now, I know that you are already on your way to being a great director. Okay, so back to the 7 key components. Now, as I said, introduction. Within the introduction, what do? You talk about Speakers University, right? You talk about how you became a part of Speakers University, right? So all this information you're going to have, based on your experience. So I won't tell you what to say like verbatim, but I'm going to give you like pointers. So you go in, and it's best to be natural, right? Like to get the material down pat, so that when you are there, you can be like, yes, and you know what you're saying. So you speak about your experience with Speakers University, yeah, like how you became a part of it. You talk about your successes in all the countries that we're in, as I said, India, Canada, Jamaica, within the Caribbean, and the USA. So you talk about that, right? Then you speak about the inception of Speakers University, 2012, right? You talk about statistics. 41% of people within North America say that their #1 fear is public speaking. So you talk about that, right? So introduction is like 20 minutes. And another thing, my favorite activity, like icebreaker within introduction, and it actually lets the time move really quickly, or appear to move really quickly, when you get everyone that came out to the free conference series to do a game, of introduction, where they find a partner within the room, and they introduce themselves to the partner. So maybe tell them to target 3 things: your name, what do you do for a living, and why did you come out tonight? For example, you can make up 3, but always let the name be there, and what they do. And then you're gonna have the partner stand up and introduce the person. So they won't introduce themselves. They will introduce themselves to the person, and then the person is gonna stand up and introduce themselves. So now you're gonna see, right, it's not really for the purpose of actually seeing where they're at with public speaking, but you can use it, as a tool, as a means to actually glean some information to see the different personality traits that you can pick up. right? And that now fosters interaction. There's energy within the room. You know, everyone is talking, everyone is like, you know, interacting, and then the energy rises, which is good. So it sets the tone for the next section, the next segment, which is founder. So remember, when you're moving, when you're transitioning from one segment to the next, you get the attendees to say, I am revolution. That's it. So the founder, this is 20 minutes as well. You speak about Lance Constantine. You know, you talk about, you know, like the year again when he founded, you know, Speakers University. You talk about the books that he has written. You speak about his accomplishments as a public speaker, right? So you let the audience or the attendees know who this guy is, who this man is, this great individual that started this movement. Indeed. So that's what you do in founder, right? And now, again, transition, I am revolution. Then you move now to the 9 key components of public speaking. I'm going to get into that, you know, a little bit, but let's move. So, you know what? Let me just get into it now, because this is what like the attendees come for. Because based on my experience in Jamaica, it's like whenever I reach this segment, whenever I reach the 9 key components of, you know, public speaking, effective communication, that's when everyone takes out their notepad, they start, you know, writing down, you know, like, okay, I need to learn this, you know, especially if there are, you know, if they're like a person or somebody that works within the industry that demands that they have exceptional public speaking skills. So they're coming for something. Now, the first one, there's 3 categories for these 9 key components. The first one is voice dynamics. The second one is word choice. And the third one is body language. And these 3 categories are further broken down into 3 components. So 3, 3, and 3 is 9. Now under voice dynamics, what do you have? You have 1, voice projection. You have 2, dramatic pause. And you have 3, this one now is, what should I say about this one? It's very effective. Change of tone. And then, the other category, body language. You communicate a lot, 55% actually of what you communicate is through body language, believe it or not. So now, let's talk about body language. What are the 3, you know, components? Let me tell you. 1, hand gestures. 2, eye contact. Like I'm watching you, right? It's a point of contact. You connect with the person through eye contact. Indeed. And the third one, right, is, what is the third one? What is the third one? Can you guess what the third one is? You see my face? Facial expression. And the third category now is word choice. Yes, word choice. Now, word choice is, when you break it down, you have storytelling, you have repetition, and you have emotion. Because you can convey all these things by the words you use. Right? Now, that's the third segment. Then the fourth segment right now is what we call guest speaker. That's when you invite someone from within the community, within your city, you know, like someone of influence, someone that people want to hear speak, someone that is accomplished. So when you're advertising, you know, whether it's, you know, via social media you can say, okay, this person will be the guest speaker at our free conference series. Right? And the point of getting a guest speaker is to get people to come and listen as well, but for the audience or the attendees to critique the style that he utilizes, him or her utilizes. Right? So they're going to use the 9 key components that we spoke about earlier to critique him, to be like, okay, do you see the hand gestures? Like, what about his voice projection? Like, what did you notice? Was there like eye contact, etc.? Right? And then transition again, a YAM revolution. Then we move on now to the 5th component, which is activity. And this is another part where everyone gets excited, and you get a lot of interaction. So activities vary. This is where you can be creative. You can be creative to be like, okay, what activity am I going to utilize to get everyone involved? And let me tell you, in Jamaica, the very first activity I did was I got, the I Am Revolution poem by our founder and CEO, Laranzo. And I got another poem that I did, called Speak Now, Speak Forever. And I had them printed out beforehand, so I passed them out, to the attendees. And I'm like, okay, can I get like 5 volunteers to come up, and try to recite, speak what you see in the paper, read it, but speak it out as best as you can. And then, what should I say? The extroverts within the group are those that are more confident, stick their hand up, they will come up, they do their best. And then I have the attendees that critique what they did. And then we're like, okay, you read, for instance, I am revolution. I am change. And then, they just read it down. All right? And then we have them critique it to see, okay, what do you think they could do better? Which ones, or how many of the key components, the 9 key components, did you recognize within that presentation, right? So you can think about any activity that, causes a person to utilize, public speaking, skills, all right? So that's what you focus on. And that involves, them, standing up, presenting. So that's one example of an activity. Then we move on to the closing. The closing is a business side. The closing is only 5 minutes. So all the other 5 key components, introduction, founder, 9 key components, guest speaker, activity, that's 20 minutes. Then once you reach the closing, this is the shortest section, it's 5 minutes. And here you're going to talk about the advanced training. So you're going to talk about, within this advanced training, we're going to have expert speakers that are going to come out and train you, go more in depth into the 9 key components. And actually, once you leave, you now are going to be an expert public speaker based on the information that you're going to get throughout the course of the training, right? You're going to tell them, even some of these trainings will be conducted by Lance Constantine himself. So you're going to sell the program in 5 minutes. Now, when it comes to the cost, you will not discuss or disclose the cost, at the front while you're presenting, because sometimes, it can cause a commotion. So what you do is you tell them that, if you're interested in signing up, you send around a paper, like a form, to say, okay, if you're interested in signing up, you put your name on this, and then see me after, and I'll tell you how much it is, right? And then you have the networking. So networking is that time 15 minutes where everyone, gets to like meet everyone and talk and, find some common ground and network, and just like build relationships. It's always good, to build good relationships. And networking is a very effective way of getting that done. Your network or your net worth is your network, right? And they can, at that time, they can come to you and talk to you about, various, things, or, like whatever, like, give you commendations, like, yeah, it's great. It's a great time. It's a great time. The networking segment. So in the beginning again, and that's the final one of the key components. The 7 segments, I should say, right? And just a little bit about in the background in preparation. You can, you need like forms. So whenever like an attendee comes in at the beginning, they write their name, email address, contact number, and Twitter, if Twitter is a section there, or Instagram, right? And then that's for like an attendee sheet, and you can keep these records, in an Excel file. You can email them updates, right? You can, send them the link, to like the Facebook page, right? You can, tell them about the website as well, so they can visit it to see testimonials and all that. And then that's for the beginning aspect. Hopefully, there's someone there that is taking photographs and someone that can do a video. So at the end of the free conference series, you get someone to video, like, who showed up, to basically say what they felt on that first day. In Jamaica, I did that, and that was one of the best videos that we actually did, the very first one. And then there was a second one that we did as a mini documentary that documented some aspect of the advanced training, so people could get a feel of what we have to offer at Speakers University. The advanced training that we had, that Lance actually flew down to Jamaica to conduct, and I was there as well. The lives of those that attended was forever changed. Like if you go on the website, you can listen to testimonials, and the testimonials are actually real testimonials, like genuine testimonials. They were not compensated or anything. The lives of everyone that came, from this lady that was like 64 years old, like working at a college, a next lady that worked, at a very reputable company within Jamaica, and then other professionals. Their lives were transformed because we impacted their lives by the tools that we equipped them with during our advanced training. So this is no joke. This is actually serious and very, very valuable information. Public speaking is an invaluable skill. It's an asset if you have it. If you don't have it, it's a liability. And liabilities are not good. Right? So this is what we have to offer. So again, there's 7 segments within a free conference series. The first one is introduction. The second one is founder. The third one is the 9 key components. The fourth one is guest speaker. The fifth one is activities. The sixth one is closing, and the fifth and final is network. Right? And then within the 9 key components, there's 3 categories: voice dynamics, word choice, and body language. Within voice dynamics, you have 1, voice projection; 2, dramatic pause; 3, what is the third one? Change of tone. I was just trying to see if you remember it. And now the second category, body language. You have hand gestures, facial expression, right, and eye contact. The third one, word choice. Within word choice, you have what? Emotions, storytelling, and repetition. Right? And then you expound on what those are. You will get like some documentation, with some of this information, so that you can reference back to it, because you'll be tested. So remember, take notes. So when you're contacted, and we're doing the miniature testing to see your knowledge on these, so you can recall it. So take notes. All right. So I am glad that you decided to be a part of our Speakers University family. It promises to be an amazing journey. So get ready, because everyone within your city is going to know that you are Revolution. Good job.
Okay.